you from using the word Israel. What made this especially interesting was that you were speaking to the Jewish society on campus. So the group told you that they were non-political and that the focus was on Jewish subjects. So the question to both of you is Israel becoming a taboo word on campus? Is there, whether it's in the UK or North America, elsewhere in the world, is there a sense of disenfranchisement, especially amongst younger people? Is Zionism a dirty word, and how do we reclaim this? Pierre, you write the book The Crisis of Zionism by Boteach, Equal Opportunity. You're writing, releasing the book, the Israel Warriors Handbook. So the question was both of you. Peter first.
I think that the greatest crisis we face on campus and among younger Jews more generally is the crisis of Jewish literacy. If younger American Jews are not as engaged in Israel, regardless of their politics, left, right, or center, are not as engaged in Israel as I think both Rabbi Boteach and I want them to be, it's fundamentally because they're not engaged in Judaism itself. That we're playing this terrible experiment in American Jewish life in 2016 where radical ignorance meets radical acceptance. And the result is a generation who don't even know what the Judaism that they are giving up is, because their community never taught it to them. And I think that is a core fundamental weakness in the American Jewish community that underlies the fact that many Jewish kids are not as engaged with Israel and not politically active on Israel, whether they're on my side politically or whether Rabbi Boteach's side. I love talking to right-wing young Jewish students who have a strong Jewish background, because I only have to convince them to rethink their views. I don't have to convince them to care. It is much harder, I find, for me to go to speak to liberal-minded American Jewish kids who might agree with me but just fundamentally don't care because they're not in the game, because Judaism is not a major part of their life. That's the much more significant thing. In terms of the BDS movement, the BDS movement is a Palestinian-led movement started in 2005.
Yeah, I'm going to get to that question.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay, so I'll stop then. I'll leave it for that. Go ahead.
Peter wrote very eloquently in the Wall Street Journal about the need for Jewish day schools. Peter is a committed Jew. I endorse absolutely what he said about strengthening Jewish identity. In fact, I have to say that the reason why I agreed to be with you again, and it's very nice to be with you, there's nothing wrong with there being a little bit of fireworks, because these are life and death issues. These are serious issues. And they need not be sanitized. We just have to respect each other always and express our views, and that's the beauty of a democracy. I want to see more democracy throughout the world. But I don't doubt for a moment your commitment to Judaism, the Jewish people. We disagree. The first Lubavitcher Rebbe said very beautifully that a bird has to have a right wing and a left wing in order to fly. That if it had two wings on one side of its body, it would flop around endlessly. And Israel is a democracy, and my very dear friend Peter Beinart has the right to be wrong. And I respect that right. So Peter is absolutely right about Jewish identity, and ignorance is something serious. So since we're going to talk about BDS soon, that's all I have to say.
Right. In the spirit of harmony, we sent our daughter to a Chabad preschool.
A little campfire, some s'mores.